Buddy, hey, how you doing? What's going on? It's KLA Cloud of Wanda. We're about to give it to you. I have a lovely guest. Her name is Miss Toasty, and she participates in freestyle calisthenics, and she's gonna tell us how she got started doing that. So how you been?
Good, good.
Miss Toasty, what? How you get that name? Is that your real name, or that's just like that's what you
Well,
call yourself?
I would say it's like an athlete name,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
maybe an alter ego.
Oh,
My more fiery, competitive self. Yeah.
oh. We say like Toasty, like I'm gonna burn these cats or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I had to figure it out. Yeah,
No
I had
way.
to figure it out. Yeah, I came across you on Instagram and stuff, and you was doing like these like I would say extraordinary excessive muscle ups and stuff like that. I was like, wow, who is that? Because I generally I generally like interview like bodybuilders, like women athletes really, but m- majority of the times like I would say like bodybuilders and stuff. So and I come maybe like once in a while I'll see somebody like you, and if you're curious, yeah, like probably like very small. But yeah, so I came across you and I was like very impressed with like the things you was doing. So,
Thanks.
yeah, yeah. So
A lot of
how you
practice.
got started? Huh?
What was that?
No, you said you was about to say it's a lot of practice. And then I cut you off a little bit.
Yeah, it's a lot of practice. You have to have the passion. You got to be dedicated. It's not for everybody. It's hard work, um, and the skills that I have taken years to accomplish, and even still, I work every day to keep them to level my skill higher. Um, but yeah, it's not a lifestyle everybody would choose.
Yeah. Well, I can show like some of the viewers the stuff you do, so maybe they'll have like a visual, have an idea. So check it out. Yeah, I got more. I got more to show. But yeah, I seen that. I was like, wow, who? Because there's other people that I've seen, other women too, that do like the stuff you do, and then I had to research it like freestyle calisthenics. Like how did that start for you, and where does that come from your knowledge?
Oh, from my knowledge, it comes from either the Bronx or Brooklyn. I want to say it became popular in 2007, but it's possible that it started a few years before, but was not well known yet. Um, and freestyle was more or less reps and sets with a little sass, a little trickery, a little, I would say, mix of a gymnastics kind of spin on it, but it's more free and it's more like street.
Yeah.
So yeah, it originated there. It was popular even before. in Europe, really big out there. In Russia,
In
and
Europe?
what's that?
In Europe?
Yes, in Europe. Uh, Germany has some really strong women. So does Russia. Just all over Europe, they're really top notch. I feel they're a bit stronger than the U.S. at this point, female wise. Like to change that, of course, and bring the United States forward. But it is an extreme sport mixed with street, and you can it's at a place where it's newer, so you can kind of do your own flow, and it's not like gymnastics where it's so strict and has to be a certain form. Um, but it also has, beautiful statics movements, which are really difficult, high level, such as planche, back lever, front lever, handstands. And it's a skill that you can acquire at any age, I think, um, because you get to do it in your own way. And people kind of find their favorite calisthenic movements and grow in that way. It's a forever growth. It's a really beautiful movement, I think. Um, yeah, and I've been doing it for some time, 6 years. Uh, I want to say I've been practicing for 6 years. I've been professional for 4 years now. I started, I want to say 2019. Uh, and I've been competing since then, a few times in a year. Yeah, and I just uh,
But
calisthenics.
yeah, what kind of drew you to do it? Did you just working out regularly and you just like, oh, Dip, I want to see that. I want
Yeah,
to do that.
I have been active my whole life, and
Okay.
I feel like I just maybe got bored of the gym and wanted to do something more, and I just kept thinking about what I could do more, and I was able to meet people in the community, watch some of them and how they progressed, and I I made a lot of mistakes because I
Mhm.
didn't know what I was doing. I don't have experience. Um, but I just kind of fell into it. It was something that I thought about. I wish I could do more. Like, I'm just an active person, always want to try new things. And seeing other people do these movements was an inspiration in a way where, wow, they're a bit older, and they don't have, not everybody has gymnastics background. This is something you build with strength, um, and of course knowledge. You have to know
Mhm.
and break down the movements before you can just execute them. um, but it's just something that I kind of mentally wanted, and as they say, you manifest um, what you think about. And I just thought, man, I wish I could do that, and I'd like to try it at the very least. And then, yeah, just people in the community kind of uh, learned from watching them, and kind of just did my own thing and kept going with it.
Yeah.
And that's what I do now
Nah,
too.
nah, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I'm just saying that's what I do now as well. I just kind of,
Yeah, 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 I didn't really know too much about it, so I had to do like a little research on it. So, I see like it seemed like I see most of the men do it, and like some women, I'll see them do it on Instagram, really, but it seems like the men are more active. They do like crazy stuff. Like like I remember one guy, he had his neck like against the pole and stuff hanging from his head, from the back of his head and stuff like that.
that's
Crazy
called
stuff. Like
the Iron Neck is the name of that move, I believe.
you said, Iron Neck.
The Iron Neck, yeah.
Oh, okay. You ever try to do that?
Most have hands.
Huh?
All the movements have names, titles.
Oh, but have you ever tried to do it? You? Or you never took it to
I
that level?
do it behind my neck. I cannot do it here because some people do it here.
Oh,
It hurts
yeah.
too much here. I don't feel
Yeah, I
it's
can
not for me.
imagine.
I could do the back. Yeah, I've done it before, but
So,
it's not something I would do in any of my performances. It's just not my move.
yeah,
It's not. Some moves I just don't prefer. That it's painful sport. It's not. It doesn't feel good to do things like this, and sometimes it's not
right.
worth it. Moves that are better, stronger. Um, yeah, that's just my opinion, though.
So you're based in New York City. Like how is that like how's like the audience, the attention that you get like doing it where you from?
Um, New York can be good and bad sometimes. I don't feel that people are very supportive, especially not of females, because it's such a male-dominated sport. Um, so it's a bit difficult. But at this point in my career and how hard I've worked, I don't depend on those opinions. I don't care really. Um, I'm in a different place than I was when I started. I was, low level, and now I've been able to get a high level, and I've accomplished some goals that I put for myself. Um, and I work hard for these things, so I just feel at this point it doesn't really matter whether I'm supported or not. And people's support definitely does change as I continue to grow. It's kind of overwhelming sometimes. People expect a lot of me because I represent New York and the females, but also people underestimate me often, and usually I'm considered more of an underdog in most cases. I mean, I don't think that of myself, but this is the way I guess I'm perceived to the world, especially in New York. Um, yeah, so I would say the support is here and there. I do have friends here, very few, and they support me, and that's all I really need, them and my own myself.
Yeah. Do you have like a team or something that you work out with, or you just by yourself?
I do have a team and a company, and I also do events just for females, exclusively just females. And they all live very far away. So we, speak on the media and stay in touch and keep each other motivated as best we can. I'm the captain of the team, so I do everything I can to promote my teammates, get them opportunities if I can, and you know, um, I do what I can when I can.
Mm.
It's a lot to take care of a team, a company, and also have accomplishments of my own. But I do my best to take care of my team and support them. They know this, and we keep in touch regularly. And they keep in touch with each other. We're like a little family, a support system and it's just all females as well. I don't have any males on my team.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah.
So you're against like in competition wise, are you against the women or the males? Or it doesn't matter?
What do you mean against?
No, like not against, but like in competition, like when you're
Oh,
doing the
yeah.
competition.
Yeah. Always, females compete with females and men compete with men. But it is overwhelming,
Oh,
the men. There's so many, and there's always so few women, uh, which, like I said earlier, I hope to change. Somebody's got to put themselves out there and make an example, I guess. And I do the best I can, you
yeah.
know. Um, yeah, and I will dedicate a few more years to this, and I have a few more goals. And I hope, to bring my team along and other strong women as well, because I support just women all around in the sport. We are not, treated so fairly. We get less opportunity, less media. Um, we're not promoted as often. Even the opportunities are just less. Like money that we win is always less. It's just doesn't seem right.
Oh, okay. Well, we got some guests. Um, what would your Abbas Khan? What would your advice for beginners who want to start?
Um, I would say you have to build a foundation. You cannot build if your grounds are faulty. You have to make roots, and you have to know that things take time. Have a lot of patience with yourself. And the most important thing is to be consistent, even on the days that you're tired. You have to remember that other people are tired too, but who's going to get ahead if one person says, "Oh, I'm too tired today," and the other person says, "I'm tired, but I'm still going to go anyway." Doesn't matter how slow you move, eventually you get there. And of course, just have belief in yourself, like the way that you have faith in things and hope. Know that you can and that you will, and then it happens. It's like magic. Yeah.
What gives you like the motivation to do what you're doing? Because you know what, it kind of reminds me of what you do. Like it kind of reminds me of female bodybuilders because they have like that similar thing where in the sport the men they're more favorable than the women. The women they don't get paid enough. Nobody don't really care to see them like that, and that's what kind of reminds me. So like do you know like any ways for you to get promoted, like to kind of like put your brand out there or anything like that?
First, I will say that the cause of these things, women not being paid, women not showing up, not being so many, is because we are we need to stop being afraid. We need to put ourselves out there. We need to stop having ego because
Yeah,
often women are not supporting women. How can we get anywhere like this? Doesn't make sense. You have to support your women, no matter who they are. Support each other. It takes away nothing from you. It only gives you so much back to support and be there for others. It's very simple. It's not hard to do. Um,
yeah.
and just don't, yeah, I would say that's it, really. It's not so complicated. If we supported each other more and the ego was put away and the jealousy and all that and trying to compare yourself, no woman is the same. We're all beautiful in our own way. If we could just believe this fully, then there will be no time for jealousy and lack of support. Um, yeah, and I think we're so powerful yet so stupid. If we just have
Well, you said it, not me.
to get ahead, like, but this is
I
just
mean,
in general, human beings. It's not
yeah,
specific.
I know.
The
I
men
mean,
need to support women too. The men need to come out there and support their women. The husbands, the friends, the brothers, even the people you work out with. They should support you as well if everybody is in this community. There's too much separation. But, we don't live in a perfect
do
planet.
do, do your family members like support you? Like do you are you married or you like do you I don't mean to put it out to ask you like that, but but do you have like a boyfriend that be like, oh, let me support her, or just even like a brother or sister, anything, your mother, father, anything like that?
I would say that the most support I get is from myself.
Right.
Um, you know, I have some things. in my life that I won't say, but I am pretty much on my own. I do have a small few people in my life that support what I do, uh, but even people who love me still don't agree because of what I'm doing is a bit dangerous. So it doesn't quite make sense to them sometimes, and they're just worried
Yeah,
about my safety and my future, of course. Um, but in the end, I just feel from all of the experience I had thus far, when it comes to my passions, I've never had the support and never really needed it. Maybe I just got used to this. I don't know. This is just who I am. And, it doesn't take anything from me. I'm like used to it, and I don't really see it as a negative thing. I see it as a very positive thing that I could do things on my own, that I just believe that I can and I get it done. And
yeah,
I mostly just think this is my life and I want it to be wonderful. I want it to be great. And no matter who's with me, who's not with me, who comes and goes, I just want to make sure that I'm fulfilled and happy, and I'm happy, you know,
yeah.
very happy and content.
I mean, it's good to. No, I was just saying, it's good to have like some type of support. You
Of
know.
course, of course, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Of course, if somebody
Yeah,
wants to give me support, I'm here. I'll take it. But if
yeah,
I get it, I'm not looking for it. I don't need it.
right.
I feel supported in my own. Like I said, sometimes you have experiences that are not so great, but they make you strong, and sometimes it change you. Sometimes it change who you are. Um, and people will look at this in a good way, and some people will look at it in a bad way. That's their freedom to have their opinion on how they feel. You know, I I'm okay. No matter what, I've been able to succeed greatly and do well in my passion in life. And so um, I always would accept support, and the more that I grow, the more I'm attracting supportive people and friends. And it's wonderful, you know. But yeah, sometimes I get a lot support, sometimes not so much.
Yeah. So, Jurgen, I'm not gonna try to pronounce his name, but he says you're very nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
And my friend Abbas Khan, would you want to compete in the men's bracket ever?
I think at this point in my career, I don't really have to. Um, and if I was offered, I think maybe I would play with the fire.
Yeah,
Because for me, I will also say that there have been times where I win and there have been times where I lose. And at first, it was very important to me to be a winner all the time. But as I've grown in the sport, I don't believe that is so important anymore. The experience, the people that I get to enjoy this with, the lifestyle I get to live because of it, and the many blessings I have also is most important to me. I don't care anymore. I have already titles, so I'm champion. That's it. Like uh, after this, it doesn't matter. I have nothing to prove, and I love new experiences, and I love to continue to challenge myself. I think others make me challenge myself when I have to compete against greatness. It makes me great, and I really love that. It's just so wonderful about the sport that you just keep growing, and other people make you want to grow because they do so well. No comparison, but it's just when I get to, for example, when I went internationally to Brazil to compete, um, I got to see some really amazing women. Like, it was just, my heart is still so full. And this was so many months ago. This was back in April or March. And just still thinking about it, the experience, all the women I got to chat with and listen to their stories and then watch their performance. Each one was beautiful in their ways and different, you know. Yeah, it was just amazing. The experience is the best part about it, just doing it.
Yeah, I like you could walk me with the competition and stuff. Like how does that go? Like you do like certain amount of exercises, like muscle up exercises, and then the next person does it too. Like
Um, okay, so I'm at this point now, I'm involved in both reps and sets competitions and freestyle competition. So they're both different. It started off together. Somehow it separated through the years, and companies just do one or the other.
mm,
Uh, so for each one, it's going to be different rules, different setup. Okay, so for freestyle, you there's two different ways that you can compete. Either you compete one on one, they choose someone of your caliber. You hope, because there's so few of us, sometimes you're going with a low level and a high level. It doesn't make any sense. But they match you up, and in this freestyle, you have to perform the most dynamic movements, explosive, and the dynamics are explosive, and it's like it's like a dance almost. You know, it's like your flow. Um, and they are pretty high level moves. You know, you have to spin in a 360 degrees, uh, flip over the bar. You know, it's quite entertaining. Um, and it also consists of statics. So you have to show strength. So you have to be dynamic and strong to win. So whichever one does this the best, and also it's a performance. You know, you have to give your sass, your style,
yeah,
and shine. You know, show them you are the strongest and most valuable player. Okay, and then the reps and sets is a whole nother beast. Okay, and this is to me, I think it's difficult in a way where it's very mental. You know, you're doing the same movement and you have to do it at a fast speed, properly with proper form. Almost always, most reps and sets, they're pretty specific with the form. Very few are lenient, depending, like I said. The rule, these is such a new sport, people kind of make up their own rules. So when I
mm,
compete, I'm always prepared that there may be a little bit of a difference or a change, and I have to kind of just prepare myself mentally, emotionally, and physically for whatever these changes are. Um, Reps and sets, usually you're either doing by time, and this first one I ever did was with a team. Sometimes you're separate and you're doing it on your own. With the freestyle, you're either one on one or you do a tournament. So you have to go again and again and continue, and you have to beat women one at a time to win the championship. So it depends on the companies. I mean, but these are all the rules or how it could possibly be or what to expect.
how many is on your team?
Currently, they've created a UFL Pro team. We have one in Miami, one in Los Angeles, Baltimore, and I am part of the Brooklyn team. And there
Okay.
is of us all together, four men, two women, but we also have a reserved woman, so three women, four men. Um, Basically, she's there in case we have injury. And our team, it goes by time. Whoever can finish these sets in a faster time than the other teams, and it continues. And there's rounds where if you are in last place, you have to beat the second place to move up, and it just keeps going. uh, thankfully, we made it to second place. Uh, I'm happy with that. It was my first reps comp. I wanted to show that I'm not just a dynamic freestyler, but I'm also strong. Don't sleep on me. Yeah, and I definitely
Um,
proved for sure.
so somebody Timothy Roberts says pretty and muscular,
Yeah.
and he look nice. Money J 2023. How you doing, sir? What's up? And he said, well said. I think what you was talking about earlier about being positive and stuff like that. Abbas Khan, I think you do well in the men's bracket. Your mindset seems strong and disciplined. But you're right. You don't need to do it. You're great anyway. And
Yeah.
then Miss Toasty, hi.
Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'll show some more clips. Yeah, I mean that's a little bananas, man. The way you do that, like what's the name of that you be like kind of like it's like the stairs or something. I see a lot of people do that. They like climb like they're climbing down or something like that.
Oh, the
I don't
wall.
know. Yeah. Oh, that's what it's called, the wall.
It's a airwalk. Airwalk, yeah.
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 How you do that? Like,
You
no,
can
I was
do
actually like, well,
you could do the
no, I
airwalk
would,
in
yeah.
any static movement. So you can do it in a front lever, a back lever. You can do it in a handstand. It's just like pretending to walk in the air.
What what's
Style.
that process like doing that? Like, cause that's not man. I don't even think I could do that. Like,
Well, like I said earlier, it's all about foundation. You have to begin with the beginner moves because you are a beginner. Um, and so, first, you need to work your way to get to the back lever, which is the movement. Once you establish a static, you can play in the static because your body is now used to the
yeah.
stress. Muscle has been stressed to the point where it can hold the static movement, and now you can move around in it. It's much easier once you've 100% completed all the process to get to the full static movement. So back lever, first you have to do a tuck back lever, then you have to do an advanced tuck back lever, then a straddle back lever, and then a one leg, the other leg, and then full. So there's many steps. And in these movements, you have to do sets. So if I do a tuck back lever, I have to go in and out of this tuck, in and out, in and out, in and out, how many times I could do it until you can move on to the next level. And it takes so much patience. You know, like I said, it's not for everybody. These are
Yeah.
things that take months, sometimes years to grow in this one small movement. Like a handstand, when you have no idea how to do a handstand from beginning to end could take you a year. Are you willing to practice almost every day? You know, each element to the handstand, because there are so many that you need to know, have to have foundation. So, yeah, that's the
I used
only
to
way.
do. I no. I was about to say real quick. I used to do like a handstand and stuff like that, but I was doing like through yoga and stuff. Like I would do like the bridge,
Yeah.
and I would do it every day and stuff. Like go to my room and like put my whole body against the wall and stuff like that. Then do push ups. Sometimes I would do a little bit like outside the wall a bit, you know. But I stopped though. I had to do other things and stuff. But like how long it took you to do it? Like how like you I was like my question to you like how long did it like did it took you? Was it hard for you? Like
Well, I don't have any experience. I'm not a gymnast. I don't have any sports background. Um, I'm never competed until these past few years. Yeah, there's nothing that could help me. The only thing that got me here is just, like I said, learning from others, um, trying. You just have to keep trying. You keep failing. You got to keep trying. Also, just looking up, you know, information, educating myself. How do I do this movement? Looking online, you know. Google is quite helpful, and so is YouTube.
Yeah,
You can find anything. If you want to know, yeah, research. You have to do the work to do it. Unless you have people around you that you can work out that do the movements, then of course, by all means, get their advice. Ask them for help. Um, for me, more or less, I practice mostly alone. I have few people that I train with. I like to be surrounded by good people, good energy. Because as I've done this longer and longer, I feel people take from me more than they give. um, and it's quite exhausting. And I cannot be on 1,000% every single time. Um, so I need just good energy, people who care about me, love me, and there's not too many of those. Like I said, I have
yes,
a very small few. I keep my circle small. It's very nice and cozy. Um, but usually I work out alone. I'm just very self-disciplined and self-motivated. So, uh, and anytime I want to, level up my skill, I just kind of do some research, look at for examples and videos, and do some reading. I have several books on fitness. I'm currently going to school to get my license for personal trainer. So, I'm just educating myself all around as much as possible. And I try to do things slow, easy. I don't push myself to an extreme unless it's necessary. Um, and yeah, I take my time with things, and I really like try to learn them at my own pace, you know?
right.
And I find that works out best because less injuries and yeah, listen to my body. If something doesn't feel right, I don't force it, you know? Yeah, it's mostly just me.
Yeah. So wait, when you said you never had like no athletic background, and it's like you do this like but what drove you to like did it? You just seen somebody do it? Like I don't know if I don't want to be asking you the same question, but it's just that
Yeah, just
it's just
watching others, seeing others move in
oh
such a powerful way. I thought, like when I first saw someone do a handstand, um, and yeah, I was just like, oh wow, like I didn't know that you can do that older. Because at this point, I'm a little older, and I'm always
right
thinking, I thought movements like this is something you got to start when you're a child, you know?
right
So it seemed odd to me that was doable. And then I was like, well, if they could do it, I thought, well, I could do it too then. And just a lot of practice. Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Some of the
practice.
stuff that you be doing, it kind of like it kind of remind me of Chinese acrobatics and stuff, because they do like certain things. Some of the stuff is kind of extreme, like they'll do like a handstand, but they're supporting like some poles or something like that, and it's really crazy the way they be doing it. I'll be like, oh shit, like it's fascinating.
I
So
love the culture. They're such disciplined people, um, and they're beautiful. Yeah, their clothing is, I just like their culture. Such a beautiful culture.
yeah,
All Japanese, Chinese, Korean, all of it. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah, I just admire their discipline, you know? They're strong, really strong people. And Europeans
yeah.
as well. They're so strong in Europe, especially the women. Like, wow, they are really high level over there.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
There was this
superhuman.
there was this girl like I don't know if I could pronounce it. She's European and she was doing some of the stuff he was doing. I remember I did like a comparison video with you and her and stuff and yeah yeah she was like she I don't even know if I could describe it but she was doing like these pull ups and stuff like that. And it was insane the way she was doing it.
Women can be strong too. It's like
Yeah.
bit more difficult because it's not as natural as it is for men. They are stronger upper body. Women are stronger lower body. But either way, you know, we're coming out on top these days. We
Yeah,
cannot be unseen at this point. I feel like we're really starting to be seen. It's been some time. It's a slow process. Yeah, there's women who came before me um, that probably inspire me more than any of the women now. Um, it's just so much harder to get involved back then, and even fewer women then as well. So yeah, they definitely set the path, and I came in and blazed it, you know. And so are many.
Abba, oh, Abba's Khan, if someone wasn't flexible, do you think they could do calisthenics if they trained a lot, or would it just be a waste of time? Not the
So
way she be doing it.
I think that it's okay. So the foundation, as I was talking about before, you not only need to practice these moves, but they involve flexibility. Back lever, you
Yeah,
have to have flexible shoulder. Um, so how would you get there if you weren't flexible? The thing is, I also had to practice flexibility. It wasn't none. Okay, so since I said before, I did not have any background, right? So nothing about my body was used to any of this stuff. Sometimes I was not able, you know. Certain areas I was weaker, and I just worked on it. And I did foundation work even for the flexibility. So for calisthenics, to do something as I do, you need flexibility, you need mobility, and you need strength. Without these three fundamentals, you will not succeed in anything calisthenics, or you will just reach a certain point and plateau, and also injury. Okay, so if you want to do a back lever, for example, you need to have flexible shoulders. So start doing movements to make your shoulders flexible, you know? Um, and it goes along with almost every movement. It's not good if you are not flexible, but it is also not impossible. You have to start where you are. Sometimes you will do something and you think, oh, I don't know if I could do that. But then you try it and you're like, oh, okay, it's not so bad. You know? So, how do you know if you don't try, right? And like I said, just being patient, building these foundations. The most important thing is the patience. It takes a long time. It did not take me 2 days to get flexible. It did not take me
yeah,
a week to get a back lever. All of these, every little movement that I have, take me many, many months, and it hurts. You know, you're moving your body in a way it's not used to, so there are pains. But remember, as you continue the same movement, your body becomes adaptable, and it gets used to these stresses, and the pain goes away. And then you get new pains because you're trying new stuff. So it's a constant battle. I will say over and over, it is not for everybody. You have to have a high tolerance in pain and the willpower. But even if you are not flexible, you are not strong, you are not mobile, it doesn't matter. You just have to start, and you start from where you are, wherever that is. I couldn't do pull up, I could not do push up, I could not do dips. I could not do splits. I couldn't do back levers. At some point, I couldn't do any of this. And I started where I was. And I gave myself small goals. You know, your goals cannot be all the way up here. They have to be close to where you are, but doable, logical. You know, one thing at a time. Slow pace is okay. Uh, and just dedication. Just keep going. Don't give up. Never give up. I never give up. No matter how hard it is, no matter how disappointing it's been or painful, I still push myself to move forward. Um, I think that's just like my human part of me, where, where I just want to believe that we are capable human beings. And I
Mm.
believe it so much that I push myself this way. Positivity, I'm like a normal person. I don't have anything special that made me this way. All I did was have experiences, think positive, push myself, believe in myself fully. And that is how I was able to climb the mountain, no matter how many times I had to, fail, um, and keep trying. I just, that's what I did. I kept going, you know.
Yeah. How many days do you work out?
I like to maintain my strength and everything, so I give a steady regimen to 5, 6 days I work out, uh, depending what I'm training for, because I have a different routine when I'm conditioning compared to competing. Um, I also like to allow myself to be a human and be lazy and enjoy myself and have an extra day if I want. I don't punish myself in any way. I think people misconstrued what discipline is and consistency. It's
Mhm.
okay sometimes. If one week you decide I want 3 days off, then that's what you
Mhm.
do. That's not taking anything from you. Sometimes that's just what your body needs, and you got to listen to your body. Um, and I'm very in tune with myself. If I'm feeling extra tired, extra fatigued, for me, it's more important to get a good workout than just to get a workout. You know.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and when I need to go hard, especially in competition mode, I go hard. Like no excuses. But when I'm allowed leniency and I'm not competing and I'm just conditioning, yeah, I take it easy sometimes. You know, I like to fill my life with other joys, not just calisthenics all the time. I have other hobbies and jobs and things that I love to do. Um, and when I need to, I take a break.
Okay. Like like how's the? I heard like there's a lot of pressure in the competitions and stuff like that. Like it's like a certain amount of time you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't
So
know.
each one has different rules, as I said. Uh, I'll explain some of the ones I've done already. So there
Okay.
was a tournament one that I did, and so I would have to perform at the very least 3 times, at the very most five, and each time it was 2 minutes 30 seconds. So I have to
Hmm.
do a full performance, and you want to use as much of your time as you can. Because let's say you take too many breaks, even though you do well, and your competitor doesn't, and they go through they're showing endurance, you know? They can keep going. They got stamina. That makes them better. So you always want to put out your best. You always want to do the most. Yes, it's a lot of pressure. Especially, people want to be at the top, but they don't know what comes with this. Once you're up there, people expect you to be up there all the time. They expect you
Yeah.
never to make mistakes, never to be tired. Even sometimes I do events now. Sometimes I'm just there to help the community. And people are asking me to do movements, and they don't understand that, like, I cannot be on 1,000 every day. You don't know what I did yesterday. Maybe I'm tired today. Like,
Mm.
just because I'm a champion and I compete and I do well doesn't mean I'm going to be vibrating on 1,000% every single time you see me. So yeah, there is a lot of attention there, and pressure, and just for myself as well. I expect a lot from me. I work too hard not to expect a lot from
Yeah.
me. Um, and at this point, I just always want to do well. Like, I never not want to have a bad day in a competition. I always want to just do my best, and everybody knows, yes, she did her best. I will always put that out, no matter how tired I am. Yeah, it's quite
Do you get
exhausting
nervous?
mentally.
Do you get nervous at times with your competition?
Nerves. So prior to this, I was in music heavily, and I did a lot of performances, singing, dancing, etc.
Okay.
Uh, so for me, I don't get nervous really when I am about to perform. The only thing that I do that I feel is noticeable is I have a very calmness about me, and it's my I think a lot when I'm in competition. So I get like this. I don't know. It's like my brain is on fire, and I'm just
Right.
thinking about everything that I have to hit, all the moves, what my set is, what the time is. Calculate. It's like I'm calculating things. It's almost I don't have time to be nervous. I'm just focused on having a good outcome and everything that I practice come to fruit. You know, I just want the performance to be proper. You know, when you work so hard on something and you don't execute it, especially in a competition, it is such a heartbreaking moment. It has happened to me. So for me, my only concern really is I usually get like these nice, exciting butterflies of happiness. And then my brain is on fire and I'm so focused that I cannot hear anything around me. I kind of zoom in. Yeah. And it's the most happiest place for me. Being a performer is really where I shine as a person. Uh, I feel it's my purpose.
Okay. Abbas Khan, would a heavy muscle buildup top be a good build or something like a sleeper build for this sport? You understand that question? I don't think I did.
I don't I don't understand. No.
No.
Sorry,
Maybe he
guys.
mean to. I like to show some pictures though. I do like your pictures and stuff real quick. Yeah, really nice.
Strong.
Would you say like you would you ever thought about being like a fitness model or anything like that?
When I was a teenager, I used to model.
Oh yeah.
But I prefer to perform if I'm going to be in front of a camera rather than to stand there, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I tried it. I did it for a while too. And it just
Yeah.
wasn't I didn't I didn't enjoy it as much as you're probably supposed to. It was quite
No.
boring to just stand there because it's very tedious. You have to pose and stand there for hours and do
Mm,
different clothing, and it's just exhausting. I didn't, yeah, I prefer to either be behind the camera filming or perform in front of a camera.
no. Well, did you was a singer?
Yeah, from the age of 7 until
Oh,
over a decade.
what happened?
Um, I had some experiences that were not so great uh,
Okay.
because I was a female, actually, and it's not a very kind place for females, the entertainment business. Um,
Hmm.
and more than anything, my passion was to perform, um, not so much sing and dance, and it was more just performing, putting a show.
Right.
Like it's just something that comes natural to me, and I like it. Uh, yeah, it just gives me purpose. It was hard when I had to separate myself from the music business and
Mm.
move on to other hobbies and passions. Uh, I still sing for fun at home.
Okay.
But yeah, my passions have changed, you know. I've grown and I feel less passionate about music. It's more of an enjoyable thing, but not so much something that I would do again or
Mm.
continue to pursue. But the performance, I enjoy what I do now, performing for others, showing my skills.
Yeah. You used to write songs and stuff like that, or
I
just
did. I
some?
writer. I made an album. I even traveled, did some shows. I also
Oh, get out of here.
I competed musically as well, singing competitions. Uh, yeah, I did many things. I was always in the spotlight in some sense. Uh, I just always felt I was made for bright lights and to perform. Yeah, it's my dream. Since I was a child, everyone has a dream when they're a kid. Mine was to be a performer, to be a star.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, Abba Khan, he said, I mean, like, do you need to have a lot of muscles, like big biceps and triceps and traps for this sport, or is it better to be more lean and shredded?
There's people of all sizes in calisthenics. There are some very tiny muscular people. There are some bigger, taller people. You know, I met women that are twice my size that do what I do. And I've met women that were smaller than me. And I'm a petite woman. I'm not that large. So I think at the end of the day, it comes down to what you think about yourself, what you think you're capable of. This sport does build muscle, and it does help if you are a bit leaner and healthier. And if you take care of your body and your muscles and you recover through time, doing it often, one of the bonuses is that you will become a bit muscular. You have to know that going in, because if that's not the kind of body you like, then you won't be satisfied with this type of movement. Especially women, you know, like women want to look more feminine, not so muscular. Not me, but some women. Uh, and yeah, it will build you, even if you're not very built at first. Because I know people who are fat and they get on a diet, they start working out, they lose weight, and eventually they become, lean and muscular. Um, Many people I've seen start calisthenics to lose weight. Others get tired of doing the regular gym workouts with weights and they want to do something more body weighted, which in
Right.
turn is for you later in life. You cannot do weights heavy forever. It's not good for your joints or your bones. Um, but it is something that comes with it. You will get muscular. You don't need it at first. You have to build your muscles. The way you build the skills is the way that the muscles will build with you. I didn't look like this before. I was actually heavier. Um, Not like
Yeah.
very heavy, but just like I probably shouldn't have been that heavy. So I just started exercising, and then little by little, I became more muscular. And I'm also very disciplined with my diet. I'm a vegan. So, um, yeah, I have to take my supplements and uh, eat the proper meals. Make sure I have, my protein and magnesium and my iron and all of
Is it
these
tough
things.
to be a vegan? Oh,
What's that?
if for, now I said, is it tough for you to be a vegan? Because a lot
It's
of people they don't
difficult.
want to be a vegan.
It's not difficult for me. I'm used to it. I've been vegan for a
Yeah.
decade, more than a decade.
Okay.
Um, so at this point, it's very easy, very simple. I've done enough research in food to know what I like, what I want to eat, what I need, what my body needs. Um, I would say at first it's difficult. So just like calisthenics, you got to do it in small portions. You got to do progressions. The way I started
Yeah.
was I became a pescatarian, which means you don't eat meat, but you eat everything else. You just don't eat chicken, red meats, no pork, nothing like this, no beef. Um, and that's where I started. So pescatarian, did this for a bit, which means you still eat fish, you can still eat dairy. And then after some time, I thought, well, maybe I should start to take out the dairy, because dairy is not so good, especially in big sums. Not good to have a lot of dairy. So I diminished that and became a vegetarian and stopped eating fish.
Mm.
So What I find is making things easy to change your diet is to supplement things with what you like already. So, for example, if you really love burgers, okay, just gotta have a burger sometimes, right? There are plant based meats that you can try that are organic, vegan, and it gives you the same feeling of a burger. It even gives you that crunch, that juiciness, so you don't have to suffer. You know that, oh, I wish I had a burger. I eat burgers all the time. I just use a meat that is made of soy and plants and just healthier, you know? And I
Yeah,
do all things that I enjoy. And at this point now, I've supplemented everything to a healthy extreme, and I don't stress or worry. Like, I know what to make, I know how to cook, I know what I like. It is difficult when I travel, it's not as available. You know, I'm able to survive for a while on just fruits and some carbs. Like, um, but there's ways to do things, and I always make sure I have my supplements anywhere I go. So if I'm not getting it in the food, I have something to supply me with what I need to keep my body in its best shape.
yeah. I remember I used to like years ago. I was trying to be a vegetarian at one point because this was in my 20s, and I remember I went to go see the doctor, and he told me my cholesterol was high, and and he told me I had to calm it down and stuff, simmer my cholesterol a bit. So I was trying to do. I don't know how I started, but I was doing research on how to eat more healthy and stuff like that. So like I slowly started kind of giving up meat and stuff. But then during the process, it was like I was getting real skinny and stuff like that. And people was
Well,
commenting
yeah,
on it, and
you have to know.
yeah,
You have to know what you cannot deprive yourself. You have to study your body as well.
yeah,
You know what your body needs. You know what kind of supply. Like, for example, I think magnesium is very important. You know, and you can get this from fish, but what do you do when you don't eat fish, right? You can take supplements for iron and magnesium. There's many organic options. And there's other things that can give you the same healthy way. You know, like I'm iron deficient. Let's say I don't have my supplement. I could easily eat a shit ton of spinach, you know, because it supplies the iron. If I'm having any struggles with my joints, I could eat kale. Kale is high. There are superfoods out there, things that are high in these nutrients and that feed our body so well. And I always tell people, you know, you want to eat the cow, right? But what is the cow eating? How is the cow surviving? It eats
eats
vegetables,
grass, right?
right?
Yeah,
What will happen if I just take from the source, right? Instead of getting it through the meat, because that's how it goes. So it's to me it seems logical. I think it's also helpful for the animals. You know, they live a sad life. A lot of them who
um,
are
some
planted.
people they like meat, so I don't know.
Yeah, you know, to each his own. I judge no one. This is a choice I make for myself. I
Yeah,
feel I do my
but that's
part.
good. That's
The
good.
animal,
Yeah, that's good.
at
Yeah,
least
yeah,
I'm doing
like
it.
yeah, that's good that you're able to be disciplined because I mean it's tough a little bit because it's a lot of temptations out there with food and stuff like that. Even when I was trying to be like vegetarian, I still would get tempted, but with sugar, really, that was the thing. Like, yeah, but sugar is almost like women to me. Like, I'll get a little tempted, cookies and all that stuff like that. I'm sorry I said it that way, but I'm just being real about it. But yeah,
Everybody
yeah, I would say that.
there's ways you can
Um,
sugary things as well. You know, too much fruit is not good either. Fruit has a lot of sugar.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I didn't really realize it that. can't eat too much of that. But yeah,
I think the best diet is a balanced diet, not having too much of anything, just a little bit of
right.
everything. And it's okay if you eat meat, but just don't overeat it, because it's not really that great for you. There are some negatives, there are some positives, but there are also some negatives. You have to figure out what's important to you. I think it's so important to know what you put in your body, what it's doing while it's in your body, what it
Yeah.
takes from you, what it's giving you.
Abbas Khan, have you cut out a lot of processed foods in your diet? I think she answered that. You answered that, right?
Yeah, I don't really. I I basically just cook. Everything is fresh. I buy my vegetables, my leafy greens, my fruits. Um, if I want to make any starches, not right at this moment, but usually I have a small garden and I grow things like tomatoes and peppers and chives and all types of vegetables. More than anything, my diet mostly is vegetables. Vegetables, and the sweetness I get is my fruits, blackberries, mango. These fruit is so good. Like, it's
You
so
ever thought about? Now I was gonna ask you. You ever thought about being like a natural bodybuilder, or you just seem like you have that potential a little bit?
For me, I don't do any of this fitness stuff to look a certain way. And
Right.
bodybuilding is very much about a look. Uh, for me, this lifestyle is more a performing lifestyle, a healthy, fun lifestyle. Certain things you would have to, like, I would have to switch the way I work out, and I just never really, many people have come to me about this with the bodybuilding, and I just don't think it's something I would enjoy.
Right.
It's not even something I watch. If I was ever at a bodybuilding competition, it would be to support a fellow female friend, or like that would be the only reason. I admire it. I do. I think it's amazing how they are able to transform their physique to such perfection. Uh, yeah, it's just not for me. Just like some people are runners and some
Yeah.
people are, you know,
No, I just
but
asked. I just because you do have that aesthetic, if I could say. You look like you probably can be either I would say bikini or I don't know figure. I wouldn't say you're not tall. How tall are you?
I'm not tall. I'm short.
Yeah.
I'm only five.
Maybe maybe I would say you probably could do wellness, but they have like this thing. It's called fitness competition. It's like they do the type of exercises. It's a bit strenuous, and then they do flips and all that stuff like that. And they it's like a performance on stage and all that. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. But it was just a thought,
It
you
would
know.
take it would take a lot of my time. Like for
Yeah,
example, I've been doing freestyle. All of my championships have been in freestyle. And then just most recently, I did a reps and sets competition. So just with even though reps and sets is something you do have to do in freestyle calisthenics in order to maintain the strength and do the tricks, but it's more of a conditioning style. So when I did the reps and sets comp, I had to really change my whole style of my gym routine. I could not keep it the same. No way I would have done well. It's like a whole different beast, whole different recipe. And so is the bodybuilding. The bodybuilding would be the same. There would need to be a recipe there that I would have to follow in order to be successful. These
yeah,
movements, type of fitness lifestyles are all very different in the upkeep. Um, and I just don't feel like the isolated movement would be fun for me. And like I said, I don't really care. I'm not a very vain person, so I'm not really about my appearance. It's nice to
yeah,
look healthy as I do. Um, But I'm not in any way a perfectionist with my body. You know, I am happy with how I look in any size, shape, and form. Uh, it's just like a bonus that it comes with something that I enjoy. I get to also look healthy. But yeah,
Do
bodybuilding.
you do I don't know. I mean, it was just a thought. But do you like with the freestyle calisthenics do you recruit women and stuff like that, or I don't know if I'm saying that's the right question to ask you, or
You mean for my events?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I have to. I'm the CEO of the company. I created this. So because of the treatment that the women have gotten in the community, this industry, all over the
yeah,
world, we're kind of considered less than in some way. I don't know why, but I just thought, why not do something for the community, for the females strictly, to give opportunity that is fair. Nobody's better than anyone. Also, to give fair battles because often there's not enough women, so you have to compete with someone that's a 10 and you're just starting, and it doesn't make sense, and it's not. Yeah, so I wanted to do something fair, something just for the women, no men, you know, so that they could get there. It was rough for me when I started. Not many opportunities for me, and even when I did, it was just no promotions, no rewards, nothing. Not like the way they treated the men. And I felt so this needed to be justified and done properly, and nobody was going to do it. Nobody, I guess, cared as much as I did. So I decided to do something about it, and I do recruit these women. Every person that has been involved is because I have reached out for the greater cause. Um, and you know, just I used everything I could to get the movement going. All the people that I knew, people who supported women, women who wanted to compete but were too afraid because they're thinking I'm going to go against somebody where I have no chance, and so they don't bother. You know, things like this. I feel these small details that were not being paid attention to. I had to go and look for these women, and I did months of work to find these women. Um, and I just approached them in a kind, respectful way, and not just let them know how great they are and that they deserve a chance to show their skills, uh, and that the environment would be less intimidating and more loving and friendly and all female. So it feels more comfortable. And I did the same with my team. I looked for specific women, dedicated women, people who wanted to improve in calisthenics. Um, yeah, and so it's nice. I like to reach out and get to know people. A little bit of a people person. It's so nice to bring all of these women together. And you know, because of it, there's been many opportunities for them now. Um, and which was the goal, right? Let's show these women. Let's give them some attention. And now they finally have like an outlet. You know, it's called Empress of the Bars. Um, and it's just all about the females, which is not something you see. I'm the first one to do it in North America.
okay, okay. Would you say that I don't know. Do you get like it? Do men be intimidated by you, like with the way your physical traits are, like how are you with the pole and stuff like that, or do they some of them admire you, or
Um, to be honest, I get a little bit of everything. There are some
oh,
men
okay,
who are intimidated, yes, you know, and they're a bit mean or standoffish, detached towards me. It's like they feel a certain way when I walk in the room because I also demand respect and I'm a strong woman and I have a bit of a masculine character, I would say.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's. I don't mean to be this way. I just feel that this is who I am, and I'm not afraid to be who I am. I'm not afraid to be a strong woman.
Right.
Uh, And I think for a very long time, many years, over 50 years, women have been fighting to be allowed to be strong without all of the judgment. You know, a man is strong, they're like, yeah, he's a boss. When a woman acts strong, oh, she's a bitch. Like, it's just quite unfair, but I'm at the point where I think that I'm kind of trailblazing things and somebody has to do it and it feels like my purpose because I guess I'm a little bit hardened. I'm a little bit hard, you know. Some people might look at this negatively, but I'm fine with how I am. And people love me for who I am. The ones that are in my life, like the people that I have close, they love me exactly how I am. And I don't take away from myself from anybody. So yeah, many men are intimidated, women too. But I am also very friendly and very kind and loving person. So I may be a strong individual, but I can be vulnerable too and soft and relaxed. I'm not rude and mean and disrespectful. Um, I keep a proper character always. I try to keep proper character. I think it's very important in someone in my shoes. I'm trying to give good example, you know? You don't have to be bitchy or anything. You just got to stand up for what you believe, have your boundaries, and be okay with people disagreeing with this. Nothing's wrong with that. And then there are people who love me and appreciate me for what I'm doing. And they show me so much love and support me so wholeheartedly, you know? I get a lot of both. And then I've got the ones who admire me and are so proud to meet me and that I inspire and that I'm just so warmed by because this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. I don't feel every woman is able or capable or they just are not mentally strong. Maybe they didn't have such a hard interior like I do, where I'm not as affected, you know. Um, yeah, my experiences have made me this way, and I have no shame, no embarrassment. I enjoy the way I am. I
Yeah.
like being
Uh,
honest and real.
yeah. Well, I appreciate your honesty. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, like you're very truthful. To tell you the truth, being honest. But
Yeah,
I gotta go. But I appreciate you. Yeah, sharing with me about your sharing who Miss Toasty is. So
yeah, yeah. Thank you for having me and letting me have a voice. It's appreciated as well.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Well, I'll follow you on Instagram.
Yeah, thank you.
All
Mizz
right,
Toasty.
all right,
All right, take care. Have a good night.
okay.
Bye
You
bye.
too.